Hello, and welcome to this presentation on the usability test results and recommendations for the Central Arkansas Christian ninth grade computer apps website. In this presentation, we will cover the purpose and background information of the class website, the methodology used during the usability testing, and most importantly, the test results and recommendations determined from the testing. Overall, the usability test went very well and provided significant, insightful information. So let's get started. In preparing for this presentation, I actually realized that the name of the website should more specifically be ninth grade computer apps, or even CAC ninth grade computer apps, instead of simply computer apps. It was a simple oversight that might carry significance in the long run. So, for this ninth grade computer apps website, the purpose is to provide students, parents, and administrators a single place where all resources in the class may be located. Included in the website is a welcoming video, a class calendar, an interactive syllabus, a page with links to our most used resources, exemplary sample projects from previous classes, helpful videos that we've watched in class, fun extra resources that students might enjoy, and of course, a page with multiple ways of contacting me. By nature, this is a paperless course, so hopefully this website will be a one-stop shop for anyone looking to gain information about CAC's ninth grade computer apps class. As for the methodology of the study, the primary moderating method I used during testing was retrospective probing, which allows the user to finish all tasks before the moderator provides any follow-up or questions. I chose this method because I felt like it offered the most natural experience possible on the website for each user. In addition, I used behavioral questions, which prompted the user to consider past experiences instead of having to speculate what they would do in future scenarios. So, for each of the 5 usability tests, I first briefed the participant on what to expect in order to put them at ease. I then asked each participant 3 introductory questions. 1. If they had ever used a class website before. 2. Describe the homepage in 3 words. And number 3, take about 60 seconds to just look around the website as though you were viewing the site for the first time on your own. At this point, I asked each user to perform a series of 10 tasks as seen in the middle of this slide, while I took notes that included error rates and completion times. Finally, I concluded with the following 2 questions. What was the best part of the navigation and why? And what would you suggest to improve the navigation of the website? As for the first introductory question, you can see that 3 out of 5, or 60% of the users, have used Google Classroom before. Bear in mind that 2 of those are my own students who are currently in or have just completed my computer apps class. One student has used Blackboard, and one student used another program while growing up in England. I can't help but be rather pleased with the results from asking each participant to describe the homepage in 3 words. There isn't one word on the list that is concerning to me, and they all seem to indicate that the overall aesthetic that I envisioned was achieved. And for the third question or task that users performed, you can see that a variety of responses were yielded. Among the most common navigations upon first visiting the site were the calendar, syllabus, class resources, sample projects, and at least part of the welcoming video on the homepage. One user actually did watch the entire 60-second welcoming video, but I'm not convinced he would have if I hadn't been sitting right next to him. Another user only watched about 15 seconds of the video and was clearly bored and not interested in watching the rest. Also, this may be a bit trivial, but Google Sites chose a random place in the video to use as my thumbnail. If you look closely, a bit of my tongue is literally sticking out, and I don't seem to have the ability within Google Sites to change it. So I suppose that 40% of the users showing at least some interest in the video is a good number, but as you will see at the end of this presentation, it was one of the first aspects of the website I knew could be better. As for the 10 task questions, overall I was pleased with the results. There were quite a few tasks that yielded 0 results, including returning to the home page in one click, although as a side note, some participants accomplished this by clicking the home button and others by clicking the CAC logo. finding where to click to send me an email, submitting the Contact Me form, which seemed to be a fan favorite, and using the search tool. To me, it was surprising that locating how grades are weighted in computer apps also yielded 0 errors. I secretly expected this task to be a bit of a stumbling block. One of the two critical errors for searching for the video on artificial intelligence was because the video simply did not play. This task was performed on a student's iPhone 6S. I'm still not sure why it didn't play, unless maybe it was a filter. The second critical error for this task was due to an app that the other student's parents had installed on his phone. Both the filter and the blocking app were significant since this is a class website that is targeted towards many students who are using school Wi Fi or who have parental controls on their devices. One user, when told to search for the video on artificial intelligence and play it without leaving the website, literally searched for the video using the search tool at the top right of the page. While this wasn't the path I had intended he take to find the video, I accepted it as a successfully completed response because, well, it worked. He quickly found the video and was able to view it without leaving the page. To address the one person who had significant trouble accessing our Google Classroom, it was because he couldn't figure out which tab to find it. After 32 seconds, he finally completed the task. But it begs the question of whether or not he would have stuck it out in real life had he not actually been in a usability test. And as for the elephant in the room, I asked each participant to tell me the best way to contact me. I really thought this would be obvious from the subheading highlighted in light gray that says, "The best way to contact me is by email or by completing the form below." In the end, no one noticed the message. And even more interesting, no one even knew they gave me the incorrect answer. I suspect this was because of the colorful image or the nifty map to our school that allows for user interaction. Regardless of the reason, it was a significant finding because contacting your teacher on a class website is a critical task for any user. In regards to participants' final thoughts, the first question addressed what users thought was the best part of the navigation. Results were pretty streamlined in that everything was simple and user-friendly. Participants used words such as easy, clean, and straightforward to describe the navigation. It was the second question that yielded a broader range of responses than what I had anticipated. 3 users, 2 of which were students, didn't really know what they would change, and my British administrator literally said it was spot on. Fun extras was mentioned twice in terms of clarification. One user suggested making class resources more visible, and the final participant requested a downloadable syllabus to save to his computer hard drive. As for final thoughts on accessibility, my friend, who is both a parent of a student that will actually be in my computer apps class in 2 years, as well as the parent of another child who is blind, complimented the introductory video on the homepage because it would be a great way for his son to enjoy the site as well. He also mentioned offering voice compatibility. Honestly, I plan to follow up with him more about what he meant by voice compatibility because alternative text, as well as properly formatted headings, were already used with screen readers in mind. He mentioned the idea of including picture icons next to the tabs at the top for people who could not read well. In Google Sites, however, I'm not sure if this is possible. And for the record, the attorney that I tested did not have much legal advice to give in regards to changes that need to be made. Based on the test results, there are a number of changes to the website that need to be made. Summarizing the tasks that yielded the most errors, there seemed to be confusion between looking for videos and the Fun Extras tab. Specifically, this table shows that out of only 5 users, there were 6 videos or Fun Extra related errors and 2 comments that were made about it, for a total of 8 findings. So I would recommend clarifying the title of Fun Extras. This tab is meant to serve as a place where students or anyone else can go to find extra computer apps or CAC related content that we aren't necessarily using in class, but that might be fun to browse through otherwise if given the time. It's not a critical component of the site, so I recommend choosing a name that better reflects its purpose. In addition, I might retitle videos to class videos, since this page serves as a hub for the videos that we will actually use in class. Additional findings and recommendations can be seen on this screen. In total, there are 6 recommended changes to make to the website, including changing the title of the site itself, filming a much shorter welcoming video, renaming 2 of the tabs for clarification, moving the Class Resources tab closer to the homepage since it's such a critical part of the site's content, and of course, redesigning the Contact Me page to make sure people know that sending an email or using the contact form are the best ways to contact me. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this presentation on the CAC 9th grade Computer Apps website usability test. I hope you found the findings insightful and the recommendations helpful. Have a wonderful day.